the Da Vinci apartment complex was still under construction when it went up in flames back in December of 2014. That fire caused an estimated $90 million in damage.
Officers are searching for at least 40 teenagers who attacked people on a Bay Area train. The team stormed onto a train at an Oakland station over the weekend and forced several passengers to hand over their purses, wallets, and phones. BART officials say 40 to 60 teens were involved. 2 people got hurt but were helped at the scene. Officers say they're using security camera video now to help identify the thieves, but will not release it since they are minors.
A Sacramento man punched repeatedly in the face by a police officer spoke out today. Nandi Kane was walking home earlier this month when an officer told him to stop for jaywalking. Well, Kane refused, and soon the officer threw him to the ground and beat him. Kane and his lawyers are now suing the county. They say this didn't happen because of jaywalking, but because of the color of his skin.
I've been embarrassed.
What?
Discriminated against. When all I've been trying to do is just go home.
Kane is still recovering from his concussion and says memories of that day are blurry. His lawsuit also claims he was abused in jail after the arrest. The officer involved was put on administrative leave. Sacramento police have made no additional comment.
A 4-year-old girl is out of the hospital tonight after she fell out of a moving bus. And we do have to warn you tonight, the video you're about to see might be disturbing to watch. Now,
movie bus.
Was driving behind the bus in Harrison, Arkansas when he captured this video on his dash cam. You can see the girl fall out of a back door and then hit the pavement. Sam Poli, a volunteer firefighter and licensed EMT, quickly ran to help the little girl. He spoke today about what was going through his mind when he jumped into action.
That day it was, around 80 degrees, so I know that the pavement was very warm. So right there, it's going to be more damage and just inflicting more pain on this poor little girl than she's already been through. Another is, she fell directly in the middle of Highway 65 in Harrison, Arkansas, which is a busy highway that runs through the town there. So I couldn't let her lay there.
Nothing, play my game.
Another car come and run her over, run us both over, and all the other people that had stopped. So I made that split-second decision to, get her out of that bad situation.
Thank goodness he did. Sam Poli says it took the bus driver 15 minutes to realize what had happened and return to the scene.
That is chilling. Elton John has canceled his next month of live performances after being hospitalized for a rare and potentially deadly infection. The legendary musician has canceled his $1 million piano show in Vegas for April and May. He also canceled a May 6th show in Bakersfield. John contracted a harmful bacteria during his recent South America tour and was immediately hospitalized. When he returned to England, he spent 2 nights in intensive care, but was released from the hospital Saturday. John is expected to make a full recovery.
An autopsy report revealed former Happy Days star Erin Moran most likely died from complications of stage 4 cancer. The Sheriff's Department says Moran died Saturday in her home in New Salisbury, Indiana, about 20 miles outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Sheriffs did not say what kind of cancer, but added they did not find any illegal drugs inside the home. Friends say the Burbank native had recently fallen on hard times. Moran was 56 years old.
New Orleans has removed the first of 4 statues that commemorate the Confederacy. The process began early this morning with the removal of the Battle of Liberty Place statue. It honors members of the Crescent City White League, a group that fought racially integrated New Orleans police and state militia. It is one of 4 statues that Mayor Mitch Landrieu wants to move to a place with a more historical context. A long public process led to that controversial decision.
It's an egregious attack against truth, against history, against my ancestors. It's an insult.
Unlike when these Confederate statues were first erected as an affront to the United States of America and intended to deny the humanity of millions of Americans, we have now a chance to create new symbols together
Opponents vow to protect the remaining 3 statues. Several people held a candlelight vigil at the Jefferson Davis Monument.
Well, most students go for glamour, but a Florida teen did not. She decided to make a very powerful statement with her prom dress. Now, instead of buying a dress, 17-year-old Milan Morris made one with the faces of Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, and other faces associated with the Black Lives Matter movement. Morris posted a few pictures on Twitter, and they went viral.
I love everybody. I'm a God-fearing woman, and I believe that everybody should be loved. And none of this was done for the fame or for the attention. It was all done out of the kindness of our hearts to show that, you know, these things happen in America and they shouldn't go unnoticed.
Now, so far, Morris has more than 16,000 likes on Instagram. Even rapper Snoop Dogg shared a picture of it.
Controversy over a topless toddler.
Yeah, a Las Vegas water park makes her cover up. Why her mother, though, is calling it a sexist move.
This is a 3D image of a patient's hip socket. I'm Meg Oliver. We'll show you how it's revolutionizing hip replacement surgery. Coming up.
What kind of car wash would you like today? Regular wash. Regular wash? It'll be free. Oh, you're right! Yes!
That'll be free.
Seriously?
I really needed that today.
That's super cool.
Today we helped at a car wash. And during the Honda Dream Garage sales event, we can help you too with a great deal on an award-winning Honda. Right now, you can lease a 2017 Civic LX for just $179 a month plus tax. And the Civic is the best-selling car in California.
I've seen the commercials, but I never think this is going to happen to you. Wow.
Youth doesn't fade. It's right here. It's all this room. It's in your heart. You might have to work for it, but it's in you. Youth doesn't fade. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not yet.
Razor-sharp precision and head-turning style. The family becomes a dynasty. The BMW 3 Series and 4 Series Grand Coupe. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Lease a BMW 320i sedan for $299 a month at a Southern California BMW Center.
Aerial coverage from Sky 9 is brought to you by Stater Brothers, your hometown supermarket. Brands you know from folks you know. Stater Brothers, serving Southern California families for over 80 years. Support your home team. Stater Brothers, where you always get more for less.
Every year, more than 300,000 Americans undergo hip replacement surgery.
Yeah, while they've made it less invasive over the years, a new technology is helping surgeons personalize a surgery for the first time. Tonight, KCAL9's Meg Oliver has the 3D details.
Climbing the stairs of his 3-story walk-up used to be 15 minutes of excruciating pain for Roderick Duhaney.
It got to the point where I was taking 30 Advil a day, where my entire day was planned around how much Advil I could take.
The actor and photographer suffered from chronic hip pain.
I couldn't squat to take a photograph.
Roderick was one of the first patients in the country to undergo an FDA-approved hip replacement surgery called OPS, or Optimized Positioning System.
Every patient's different. Every patient moves differently.
Dr. Jonathan Vigdorchik of NYU Langone Medical Center says the difference is in the details before surgery. They take multiple x-rays, not just of the hip, but also the spine.
We never thought it was important to the hip.
And how important is it?
Now we realize that the spine really controls how the hip moves. It controls how the hip replacement functions, and the hip controls how the spine functions.
Once they have the images, they create a 3D model of the hip.
This is a 3D model of his exact bone.
Dr. Vigdorchik says the model shows him exactly where to focus. In the past, they went in blind.
I've already pretty much done the surgery before we even started.
Roderick had 2 hip operations. The second used the new approach.
If you took away the scar, if you took away my memory of the process, I would not know anything happened.
He says the recovery was also quicker, so he was back to work faster. Meg Oliver, New York.
A fight over a picture frame.
Yeah, this one's not hanging on a wall. It's an architectural wonder in Dubai. Evelyn.
And we are getting a look outside right now. You will see pretty clear conditions. What you won't see in the shot is wind. We've got quite a windy forecast heading our way. Details ahead.
You could be this guy.
Hey, buddy.
Who owes his cheery disposition to the easy tilt seating in his Chrysler Pacifica.
Yeah.
Or you could be that guy who just realized
Dad, come on, I'm going for facial hair back here.
that his anger management classes were a complete waste of money. The all-new Chrysler Pacifica, the most innovative minivan in its class.
Get 0% financing for 60 months or get $2,000 total cash allowance on the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica.
It's Empire Today's biggest sale, the 50-50-50 sale. 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation. That's right, half off your entire project. You can save thousands. Empire's 50-50-50 sale won't last long. Don't miss 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
It's easy to see why Nissan is America's fastest growing auto brand. Introducing the new Midnight Edition with aggressive blacked out alloy wheels, spoilers, outside mirrors, and more. Take on the mainstream in Nissan's Midnight Edition. 6 models, 4 colors, only at your local Nissan dealer. For a limited time, get a low $199 per month lease on the 2017 Nissan Rogue.
Hi, I'm Erica Olson, spotlighting the 2016 Chevy Tahoe. Whether it's a weekend at the lake or a night on the town, the Chevy Tahoe lets you go anywhere and do anything, all while delivering an EPA-estimated 23 miles per gallon. There's lots of cargo space, just a button push away. And with available 4G LTE, you'll always be connected. See why the Chevy Tahoe is the status symbol SUV people are proud to park in their driveway. Test drive one today at your Southern California Chevy dealer. Nowadays, a children's dental clinic is open again in Anaheim after being shut down for months because of bacteria in the water. Dozens of children got sick after being treated at the clinic, and many parents have filed lawsuits. Tonight, KCAL 9 Orange County reporter Michelle Geely has more from the clinic's CEO.
Baby root canals will no longer be done with tap water at this clinic. Instead, sterile bottled water will be used according to the Orange County Health Care Agency. The clinic has reopened as dozens of lawsuits by patients are being filed.
I was a little nervous from the dentist, but thank God that I was actually good.
11-year-old Samantha Aguilar was one of the first patients seen at the reopened Anaheim office of Children's Dental Group this morning. The practice has been closed since December when a second bacteria was discovered in the internal water system.
If I'm hearing you correctly, you're almost saying that it wasn't your group's fault?
I think it was.
Children's Dental Group CEO Sam Gruenbaum sat down for his first interview with CBS. He says the company has done everything it can to help patients, including 68 kids who were documented by Orange County Health Care to have contracted serious infections from the water.
What do you say? You say that it hurts. We regret deeply that it happened. Any kind of injury to the child, whether it's lifelong or whether it's temporary, you want the children to be well.
Gruenbaum says the investigation continues to find the source of the bacteria. Meantime, the city of Anaheim insists its water is safe and the problem is isolated to Children's Dental Group.
Right behind me here is a building with about 8 businesses in them. There's another dentist, there's 2 restaurants, and the water was checked at every one of these businesses after the issue here came to light, and by the time the healthcare agency was done, there was only one business that was shut down, which tells us that it was an isolated incident and has no relevance to the water that we supply to the site.
The clinic actually shut down twice last year amid concerns over bacteria. In Anaheim, Michelle Geely, KCAL 9 News.
A mother is speaking out against the dress code at a water park in Las Vegas. She says it's sexist. Gwen Buckles said her 3-year-old daughter was cold and wanted to take off her wet t-shirt. A water park employee objected and ordered the woman to put a top on that little 3-year-old girl. The mother complained, or she complied rather, but she said she strongly disagreed with the policy because boys are exempt from the rule.
It just irks me that little girls are sexualized that way. Like, that's what I immediately thought, is like, what is it about my 3-year-old that makes it okay for somebody to say that she has to have a shirt on when there's a 3-year-old boy playing next to her that they don't even think twice about?
Well, after she complained to management, the mother said she was handed a revised list of rules that said all children must wear proper swim attire at the water park. I'm just kind of wondering, should we all just stay silent on this one? Because this could go really far.
It could go far, but it's tough to stay silent.
Yeah, it really is. No,
But, I agree with her.
Yes, absolutely. They're children.
I have a 3-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think twice.
No. I would have been absolutely appalled too.
Outside, in the water. Yep. So there we have it.
I can't. My parents are watching. They might get mad if I tell them what they used to let us do on the beach.
It's just a normal thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we know. We definitely know. I think a lot of people out there might feel the same way.
Right. And everybody's, of course, entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
But that's just happened to be ours.
Yes.
And there we have it. Well, we had some cooler temperatures today. We did.
Nice at the pier tonight, too.
Right? It's beautiful out there. So a little bit of a cool down indeed. A little bit of a breeze coming through. And that pier, well, we could start to see some serious wind roll through in the next few hours. Right now, it's still nice and quiet, but we are expecting the wind to kick in. We do have several wind advisories in store for the high desert and some of our mountains and eventually valleys, expecting to see some of that wind later in the week. Right now, take a look. 19-mile-per-hour winds for Lancaster, 16 miles per hour for the Apple Valley, double-digit wind speeds as we head to Oxnard, the Ventura County coastal plain, pretty windy all around. So as we look at your future cast right here, you will see wind really starting to pick up after 11 p.m. That's when we start to see numbers like 37 miles per hour. That's going to be for Lancaster, 26 for Santa Clarita. Santa Monica really getting windy overnight into the early morning hours. And by 9:30, we will continue to see the wind tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, things get a little calmer for us. You'll see temperatures mostly in the 60s and 50s, cooler all around. We were near average, though, average being 74, and we did get up to 73 earlier today. Temperatures tonight falling down to the 50s, mostly clear and windy. And by tomorrow, we are up to the upper 70s, partly cloudy and breezy conditions. So as we look at my 7-day for the beaches, the basin, and the valleys, you'll see 70s and 80s expected, continuing to stay actually warmer Wednesday into Thursday and Friday. By the weekend, calmer and warmer all around with upper 80s. And for the Inland Empire, the high desert, and the mountains, you'll see right here, 50s for the mountains, 70s for the high desert. The Inland Empire in the 80s, and continuing to keep things warm and breezy to windy, at least through your Friday. And then by Saturday and Sunday, calmer and all around a warmer forecast for some of us, especially by Sunday. That's going to be one of the warmest days of the week. Back to you, ladies.
All right, Evelyn, thank you. And take a look at this. That tiny dot that you see there is actually Earth as seen through the rings of Saturn. The view is from 870 million miles away. The photo was taken by NASA's Cassini spacecraft back on April 12th.
It is a view of Earth's southern Atlantic Ocean facing the camera. Cassini launched back in 1997, taking 7 years to get to Saturn, and it's been orbiting there ever since.
Isn't that so neat to look at it from a different way?
That is such a
different
cool
side.
view. 7 years to get there.
What's that? Well, 8,300 miles closer to us, the latest architectural wonder set to rise in the United
They
Arab
said that
Emirates.
there was this
Take a look at
girl
this.
and
It's
she
called the
stayed
Dubai
in
Frame.
space
And
for at
you
least
can see why. It's set to
534
open later
days.
this year, but construction is shrouded in controversy. A Mexican-born architect says the structure's design was actually stolen from him, and he's filed a lawsuit.
2008 competition, but because of the clauses he wasn't comfortable with, he rejected the agreement. Well, construction began anyway. The 492-foot tall frame will serve as an observatory over Dubai with an exhibition, gallery, and museum. That city gets neater and neater by the minute. That is really cool. That's really cool.
hey. You're not taking those.
Whoa, you're not taking that. Come with me.
APR at your Southern California retail. Sponsored by Stater Brothers.
In 9 on Entertainment, fans of the late actor Patrick Swayze will be able to see some of the memorabilia from his hit movies like Ray, Ghost, and Dirty Dancing.
Julian's which features more than 200 costumes, props, and personal items to the beloved star. Proceeds from the Swayze collection will benefit the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network.
Award-winning actor Robert De Niro is getting an Ivy League honor.
And for Prince fans, it was a weekend of sadness and celebration. KCAL9's Suzanne Marquez has a stories and much more.
Fans wrapped up a 4-day celebration of the live music of Prince.
Couldn't pass up the opportunity to at least walk on some of the same ground that Prince walked on.
Prince died of an accidental overdose of painkillers at his Paisley Park home. Robert De Niro will receive an honorary degree from Brown University. The Ivy League school says it's celebrating the intensity of his performances. The actor's Tribeca Film Festival is in full swing this week. Tonight's premiere of The Richard Gere and Laura Linney star in the psychological thriller about two couples discussing a childhood crisis. Season 3 of the Amazon series Catastrophe begins streaming on Friday. Philip Kleifer starred in the comedy about a couple navigating the highs and lows of marriage.
It's just 17 hours.
Her co-stars spoke about the shock of Fisher's death last year.
I've been sad as a human being.
Fisher died of cardiac arrest 2 days after Christmas.
Suzanne Marquez, KCAL.
Tonight, news at 9. 2 top Afghan defense officials resign in the wake of a brutal attack by the Taliban. Is the country falling apart? Secretary General says is there to find out.
Also at 9, said in France, 2 politicians without the backing of any major party based on the presidency. Precedent of this.
Your testimony will save
$6.99. Don't wait. Call right now and I'll knock off another